Do you feel better when you are living in lust or when you're away? You notice that there's people who live in lust who don't feel as better as when they do. Think about the last time that you were living in lust, right? And think about the continual pattern. Think about the last time you were living in lust. Think about the emotions to those who are not living in lust. I want you to write down how negative you felt when you were living in that. And when you felt and when you were thinking about that. To those who are still living in that, think about what negative you feel now. You can overcome. Just because you're living in lust right now doesn't signify, it is a myth to think that just because one is living in lust right now, that will always be their life. And that is a lie. You don't have to live in lust. Did you know that? A person will be a player until their 30s and 40s and then think that somebody will get to them, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy, especially for men. Think about all the energy that you felt the last time you retained. Being on semen retention is not a myth. Being on seed retention, seed retention, also called that, is not a myth. And retaining your seed is not vanity. It's not living in vanity. Retaining your seed is not a bad thing. But watch out with what you do when you retain your seed. You must be willing to experience God's fullness, that is God's goodness, His love, His compassion in your seasons of life when you retain your semen. When you retain your semen, it's important to maintain humility in your life because pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18 says that. Proverbs 1 says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:10 tells us clearly that humility is the fear of the Lord. And also, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. We must be willing to grow in knowledge of God. When you retain your seed, it's important to not look down on other people because your energy will increase, people. It's important to not think that just because you can focus easier, that you will always have that focus. It's the same thing when it comes to gifts of the Holy Spirit. You have those gifts right now, but you will not always have them if you're being prideful. Pride is not a joke.